The name Nissan is synonymous with style, longevity, and durability. The car manufacturing company has continued to break the bounds of design and manufacturing. For a long time, the company has stood neck and neck with other car manufacturing brands to fight for the trust of the mass market. Nissan is today one of the world's largest automobile manufacturers. It's the third largest and sixth largest automobile maker in Japan and the world, respectively. But how did it get here? How did the man from Japan conquer the world with his designs? This is the story of how Nissan Motor Company started, faced a lot of challenges, and remained a force to reckon with in the automobile industry. The origins of Nissan can be traced back to 1911 and 1919 when Koishinsha County and Jitsuyo Jidosha Company were founded respectively. Masajiro Hashimoto. Masajiro Hashimoto was born in 1875, not long after the restoration of the Emperor of Japan to the throne, with a call for rapid industrialization to forcefully bring Japan out of its Middle Ages technological level and surpass the advanced industrialized nations of the West. Little is known about his early student life or family, although he graduated from the Tokyo Institute of Technology with a degree in mechanical engineering. From then on, he worked as a government official, most likely for the Ministry of Agriculture and Commerce, where he was likely responsible for tractor development and administration. The ministry sent him to the United States for more engineering study. He spent 3 years in New York working for a steam engine maker. He worked in electrical engineering, machine gun manufacture, and coal mining equipment design. However, it was the designs of automobiles that caught his attention the most. As a result, he decided to move back to Japan to begin his own motor vehicle manufacturing company. The establishment of the Koishinsha Company. At the time when Hashimoto returned to Japan, momentum had begun to build for manufacturing cars in Japan. Yoshisuke Kawa, who had graduated from Tokyo Imperial University, moved to the United States and worked in a factory, where he developed casting skills. He then moved back to Japan to use this newfound knowledge. In 1910, Yoshisuke Kawa established the Tabata Casting Company in Tabata, Fukuoka, laying the groundwork for the growth of Japan's vehicle industry. It was just a matter of time before car manufacturing companies began to spring up in Japan. The Koishinsha Company, an automotive business founded in 1911 in Tokyo's Hiro area by Hashimoto, was one of the first to do so. Masajiro Hashimoto's workshop had only 6 employees, but he had big plans and even planned to start exporting automobiles in the future. He was captivated by the technological sophistication and productivity of the American car industry and was motivated to imitate it in Japan. In 1914, the factory produced a tiny passenger automobile with a 2-cylinder inline 10 PS engine and a peak speed of 32 km per hour. This significant technical project, known as the DAT, made extensive use of domestically produced components. It was one of the earliest indigenously made Japanese cars. The DAT car was named by combining the initials of 3 men who invested in Koishinsha, Den, Aoyama, and Takeuchi. The DAT car was entered in the Taisho Exposition, held in the same year, and it was awarded a copper medal. However, there was still little demand for passenger automobiles, and a difficult couple of years laid in wait for the manufacturing company. A new name. After almost disappearing from the car manufacturing industry, the firm relaunched as Koishinsha Motor Car Company, Limited. Koishinsha Motor Car Works expanded to 600,000 yen in capital and 60 staff. The next year, they finished and introduced the Model 41 DAT, which included Japan's first single-body casting 4-cylinder engine. Then again in 1925, the company changed its name from Koishinsha Motor Car to DAT Motor Car Company. Because there was essentially no consumer market for DAT and Datsun passenger vehicles at the time, DAT Motors decided to develop trucks. The first DAT trucks were built for the military market in 1918. As a result of low demand for military vehicles during the 1920s, DAT was compelled to combine in 1926 with Japan's second most successful truck manufacturer, Osaka-based Jitsuyo Jidosha Company, Limited, also known as Jitsuyo Motors, which had been created in 1919 as a Kubota subsidiary. Until 1932, the new firm, DAT Automobile Manufacturing Company, Limited, was based in Osaka. DAT introduced a new compact automobile, the first Datsun, which translates as "son of DAT," in 1931. After Nissan took over DAT Motors in 1933, the last syllable of Datsun was altered to "son," because "son" also signifies loss in Japanese, thus the name Datsun. The company changed its name to Jidosha Seizo Company, Limited in 1933, and its corporate headquarters was relocated to Yokohama. The name Nissan. Yoshisuke Kawa established the holding company Nippon Sanjo in 1928. Japan Industries or Nippon Industries. The term Nissan first appeared in the 1930s as an acronym for Nippon Sanjo on the Tokyo Stock Exchange. The renowned Nissan Zaibatsu conglomerate, Nippon Sanjo, also included Tabata Casting and Hitachi. Eventually expanding to 74 companies, Nissan rose to the position of the fourth largest commercial conglomerate in Japan during World War II. Nissan was in charge of the foundries and the auto parts sector, but Aikawa didn't start making cars until 1933. Aikawa bought the bulk of the stock in DAT Motors in 1931, and Nissan combined DAT Motors with Tabata Casting's car components division in 1933. Nissan Motors is founded. Aikawa established Nissan Motor Company, Limited as a new subsidiary in 1934 and merged Tabata Casting's expanding car components section under that name. The possibilities for the vehicle in Japan did not excite the Tabata Casting stockholders, so Aikawa utilized funding from Nippon Industries to buy them out in June 1934. From that point forward, Nippon Sanjo and Hitachi essentially owned Nissan Motors. The company completely changed its focus to producing trucks and military vehicles starting in 1938. During World War II, Nissan produced engines, vehicles, and aircraft for the Japanese military. The company's main facility was relocated to China after Japan established itself there, where it continued to make machinery for the Japanese military until it was taken over by American and Russian forces. The main Nissan factories were taken over by Allied occupying forces in 1945. At one facility, they let the production of Nissan and Datsun automobiles restart, but Nissan's use of the other facilities was not resumed until 1955. As a result, the organization briefly went under the name Nissan Heavy Industries Corporation for 2 years, from 1947 to 1948. Nissan establishes an early American connection. American engineer William R. Gorham, 1888 to 1949, who had created Jitsuyo Jidosha's first three-wheeled vehicle, joined DAT when the two companies amalgamated in 1926. Gorham, who gave up his American citizenship to become a naturalized Japanese citizen, helped establish the mass manufacture of Japanese vehicles by introducing an American philosophy of scientific rationalism to the country's machinery sector. Aikawa visited Detroit in 1908 and came away with a vision that would have a significant impact on Nissan's future. He followed out his ambitions to import the most up-to-date American auto manufacturing technologies with Gorham's assistance. All of the equipment, vehicle designs, and engine designs originated in the United States, and Mitsubishi brought the equipment into Japan on Nissan's behalf. Nissan establishes relationship with Ford Motor Company. From 1993 until 2002, Nissan collaborated with Ford to promote the Mercury Villager and Nissan Quest, two consumer-friendly minivans. Aside from a few aesthetic modifications, the two minivans were built with the same parts and were almost identical. Ford dropped the Mercury version of the Nissan Quest in 2002 to make way for the future Freestar and Monterey. However, Nissan continues to manufacture the Quest. Nissan reintroduced the Patrol four-wheel drive in 1992, which was physically and technically identical to the Ford Maverick. Both vehicles were made in Spain, and while the Maverick was retired in 1998 owing to poor sales, the Patrol was a big seller and is still in production today. Nissan establishes relationship with Austin Motor Company. Nissan, like Hino and Isuzu, collaborated with a well-known European manufacturer to acquire access to automotive and engine designs. Nissan picked the British company Austin, which eventually joined with Morris to become the British Motor Corporation. In 1930, Nissan began producing Austin 7s. Nissan Motor Company of Japan signed a well-documented legal arrangement with Austin in 1952 to build 2,000 Austins from imported, partially assembled kits and sell them in Japan under the Austin name. The deal required Nissan to manufacture all Austin parts domestically within 3 years, which it accomplished. For 7 years, Nissan manufactured and sold Austins. The arrangement also permitted Nissan to use Austin patents in the development of its own engines for the Datsun series of vehicles. In 1953, British-built Austins were produced and marketed, but by 1955, the Nissan-built Austin A50, with a slightly bigger body and a new 1,489 cubic centimeters engine, was on the market in Japan. Nissan built 20,855 Austins between 1953 and 1959. Nissan establishes relationship with Prince Motor Company. Nissan combined with the Prince Motor Company in 1966, adding more premium vehicles to its lineup, including the Skyline and Gloria. The Prince name was subsequently dropped in favor of the Nissan name, with subsequent Skylines and Glorias wearing the Nissan name. In the early 1990s, Nissan launched Infiniti, a new luxury brand for the US market. Nissan's foreign expansion. Nissan made a determined choice to grow into global markets in the 1950s. Nissan executives saw that the Datsun compact vehicle line will fill a need in places such as Australia and the world's largest automotive market, the United States. They originally displayed automobiles at the 1959 Los Angeles Auto Show in 1958 and sold a few vehicles that year in the United States. In 1959, the business established a subsidiary in the United States, Nissan Motor Corporation USA, led by Yutaka Katayama. By 1970, Nissan had grown to become one of the world's largest automobile exporters, constantly improving the technology of their sedans, employing stylish Italianate design, and adding sporty cars to their lineup, including the Datsun Fairlady Roadsters, the sporty and race-winning 411 series, the Datsun 510, and the world-class Datsun 240Z sports car. Following the 1973 oil crisis, buyers all around the world began flocking to high-quality low-budget automobiles in record numbers. Nissan made a deliberate attempt to give its expanding economic vehicle lines a sporting flair, establishing new facilities in Mexico, Australia, Taiwan, and South Africa. The company also delved into the production of electric vehicles, and by April 2018, Nissan had become the largest electric vehicle manufacturer globally, with sales of over 320,000 all-electric vehicles worldwide. The Nissan symbol. The original Nissan symbol is a mix of two simple geometric shapes, a red circle on top of which is a blue rectangle with the Nissan name imprinted on it. The red circle is said to be a tribute to the Japanese flag. By the 1990s, the red circle and blue rectangle had been replaced by chrome outlines in the logo. In 2020, the design changed once again, becoming a sleek and basic badge that retained the form of the traditional Nissan insignia while adding modern and elegant elements. It has capitalized black lettering between two arches that forms a distinct Nissan circular emblem. Nissan today. Nissan was founded in Japan and became Nissan officially in 1934. Since then, the company has consistently proved its devotion to innovation, efficiency, and quality. Nissan's long heritage and progressive engineering can be felt and seen in every vehicle today, from the Leaf to the Navara, X-Trail, and GTR. Nissan is recognized for its experience and reputation in vehicle manufacture, with its automobiles being elegant, inventive, sporty, and efficient. Nissan has a global presence of more than 80 years. Nissan has also spent substantially on the development of high-quality parts, components, and vehicle technology, which has contributed to the company's reputation for dependability.